Good Wednesday afternoon and welcome back. Since February 28, when President Trump launched military action against Iran without prior congressional approval, we Americans have been asking questions that still have not been fully answered. What is the mission? What is the endgame? And who is telling the truth? Current coverage shows those questions remain unsettled even now. But those of us who study the Bible know this is not just a modern-day political story. It is an ancient leadership pattern. Hi, and welcome to the 10 Commandments of Leadership podcast. Here we educate, equip, and empower emerging leaders with God-thought leadership, and we present current events and newsmakers in the light of best practices from the Bible. And today's episode is no exception. So today I want to ask a blunt question. Is Donald Trump a 21st century Ahithophel? Ahithophel was one of King David's closest counselors. He had access, he had influence, he had credibility. But he used his proximity to power in service of betrayal. Yes, he was an original Benedict Arnold. He aligned himself with rebellion, and his counsel became part of a larger conspiracy against rightful order. 2 Samuel chapter 15 verse 31 says, Ahithophel is among the conspirators with Absalom. That line could preach all by itself, because one of the great dangers in leadership is not always open opposition. Sometimes the danger is corrupted counsel from the inside. Sometimes the most dangerous voice in the room is the one that sounds seasoned, sounds strategic, sounds confident, but is detached from truth, humility, and accountability. And that brings me to Luke chapter 12. Jesus said, "Nothing covered up will stay covered up. Nothing hidden will remain hidden. Whatever is whispered in private will eventually be shouted from the housetops." That is a warning for politicians. That is a warning for presidents. And that is a warning for every emerging leader listening to me today. When your claims are false, when your motives are hidden, and when your counsel is self-serving, eventually exposure comes. So the lesson is not just about Donald Trump. It is about us, you and me. Will we tell the truth when it costs us? Will we correct ourselves when we are wrong? Will we put our households in order before pride hangs us with our own rope?